with the basic principles of the republic on the line. A name more famous for decades and decades than Nikki Haley in Republican circles came out swinging directly at the presumptive Republican nominee Donald Trump early this morning. In a post, Liz Cheney saying this, quote, "The GOP has chosen. They will nominate a man who attempted to overturn an election and seize power. We have 8 months to save our republic and ensure that Donald Trump is never anywhere near the Oval Office again." And then Liz Cheney sent people to this video originally released in May. Watch.
Donald Trump is the only president in American history who has refused to guarantee the peaceful transfer of power.
Joe Biden,
he lost the election and he knew it.
To become the president.
He betrayed millions of Americans by telling them the election was stolen.
Stop the steal.
He ignored the rulings of dozens of courts. Rather than accept his defeat, he mobilized a mob to come to Washington and march on the Capitol. Then he watched on television while the mob attacked law enforcement, invaded the Capitol, and hunted the vice president. He refused for 3 hours to tell the mob to leave. There has never been a greater dereliction of duty by any president. Trump was warned repeatedly that his plans for January 6th were illegal. He didn't care, and today he celebrates those who attacked our Capitol. Donald Trump has proven he is unfit for office. Donald Trump is a risk America can never take again.
The Great Task is responsible for the content of this advertising.
This is particularly notable heading into another election after the political harm that Liz Cheney and Chairman Benny Thompson and the entire January 6th Select Committee inflicted politically on the Republican brand ahead of the 2022 midterms. And let us just say, this could be interesting. Someone whose last name is synonymous with the highest echelons of executive power on the right, impeaching the very fitness of a member of her own party this early in a general election, this loudly and this publicly, has not happened before. And her clarion call stands in stunning contrast to the rest of the party in which she served. Nikki Haley winning in just 2 places during the stage of the Republican primary, where it was just Nikki Haley against Donald Trump, saying she'll support the nominee. Mitch McConnell endorsing Donald Trump today, glossing over, or just swallowing, I guess, the racist attacks Donald Trump made over and over again against his wife, to say nothing of the fact that Trump threatened McConnell himself, saying McConnell had a, quote, death wish because he had the audacity to pass a bill to keep the government functioning. Donald Trump's grip on the party is not possible without those Republican leaders abdicating their duty, to say nothing of their dignity, over and over and over and over, and predictably over and over and over again. All for a person that they know perfectly well is unfit to serve. In the apocalyptic alternate reality Trump is selling on the stump to Republican voters. They knew that's a lie, too. In his victory speech, what the New York Times called a, quote, dark vision, Trump peddled an Earth 2, devoid of facts, not remotely rooted in modern-day realities. He claimed, as he does practically every day, that the United States justice system was being weaponized against him, even though the 91 felony counts he faces were brought by independent prosecutors and approved by juries of his peers. Trump claimed that the migrants crossing the southern border are violent criminals, even though officials in his own administration said that most migrants are fleeing poverty and violence. And, of course, there's the big lie that he peddles all the time when he rails against the voting system, even though he just won more than a dozen primaries and, as far as we know, hasn't contested any of those results so far. So this is what the Republican Party has signed up for, again. The rest of us, including millions of American voters, still have a chance to win.
I hope you enjoyed the recent clip from MSNBC. I'd love to share my thoughts on it, and I'm eager to hear yours. So let's get a discussion started in the comments below. Don't forget to show your support by hitting the like button, following us, and subscribing to our channel for more content just like this. The recent statements from Liz Cheney, wherein she warns that America has 8 months to save our republic, represent a clear and present danger to the foundational principles that underpin the Republican Party and the conservative movement. Her assertion that the GOP has seemingly thrown its support behind a man accused of attempting to overturn an election is not just misleading, but also a direct assault on the democratic process she claims to protect. As a supporter of Donald Trump and a conservative Republican, it's essential to examine the facts and the significant accomplishments achieved during his presidency. Economic revitalization, the promotion of American energy independence, judicial appointments that respect constitutional jurisprudence, strides towards securing our borders, and fostering peace through strength on the world stage are but a few hallmarks of his tenure. These achievements have had a profound impact on our nation's prosperity and security. However, Liz Cheney's narrative alarmingly ignores these realities in favor of a hyperbolic assertion that Trump is a threat to our republic. Her actions and statements seem to be out of touch with the sentiments of the Republican base, many of whom continue to endorse Trump's policies and leadership style. It is clear that her stance is more an outlier within the party than reflective of its core beliefs. Cheney's personal vendetta, evidenced by her involvement with the January 6th Select Committee, has repeatedly aimed to paint Trump and his supporters as fundamentally anti-democratic. Yet, these claims are not supported by the 74 million Americans who cast their ballot for Trump in the 2020 election, many of whom continue to uphold the belief that there were legitimate concerns regarding election integrity. Disagreement with election outcomes and the pursuit of legal challenges are not inherently anti-democratic, but rather part of the legal processes available in our system of governance. Furthermore, Liz Cheney's approach to forcefully condemn Trump and his allies early in an election cycle reflects a deep-seated divide within the party that serves only to aid the opposition. Conservative values champion unity, law and order, the Constitution, and the will of the people, all of which are undermined by her rhetoric. Disparaging a former president who achieved significant conservative victories does little to advance the Republican cause or to unify a nation in need of healing. In conclusion, while Cheney's concern for our republic is to be taken seriously, her approach is divisive and counterproductive. Such a strategy will only serve to alienate the base and weaken the Republican Party's position ahead of critical elections. In these trying times, we need to support leaders who champion policies that ensure the strength and prosperity of our nation. The Republican Party is far stronger when it stands united behind foundational conservative principles and leaders who truly represent the interests of the American people.